Oof. Oof. Hey. That's not even a lobe anymore. That's just completely flat right there. That is impressive. Hey guys, welcome back to Reignited. Now we've been making some great progress on our twin charge Magnum, otherwise known as the poor man's Hellcat here. However, we are at a bit of a standstill while we wait on some parts. So in this episode, we're gonna get a jump start on the Scat Pack Neon. All right, as you guys can see, this project definitely jumped up a notch. This is a Hellcat blower. Now this is on a 6.4 liter SRT Scat Pack engine that was already going to be going in this car, but it was just one of those deals. I know you guys have been there before. The late night eBay scrolling, you're scrolling, ooh, look at that. Oh, it's got an offer price. Well, let me just throw a ridiculous offer in there. Oh no, he accepted it. That's kind of what happened here with this Hellcat blower. I got a really good deal on it, so I had already submitted the offer, therefore I have it, and I was like, when am I gonna put this thing on? I thought about putting it on Identity Crisis, my C10 with a 392 in it, but I thought it'd be ever more ridiculous to put it in this car because it's already going to be stupid, so why not add a giant Hellcat blower to it as well? Very exciting. Now, there's a cool story that comes along with this blower as well. So it's always dicey when you're buying things from eBay, right? You never quite know what the condition of the part you're going to get is. You don't know anything about the background on it. It's kind of hit or miss. So when you spend this much money on something, you kind of hope it's going to be a good deal. Well, I was very pleasantly surprised that when I actually received the blower, the label on it said it came from Hennessy Performance, and it actually came in a Magnuson supercharger box. So essentially what happened is, and in fact, this is a TRX blower, which is the same blower they use in the Hellcats. It just has some different coolant ports on the back here. But essentially what seems like happened, somebody bought a brand new TRX, took it down to Hennessy Performance, they took off the stock blower, installed the Magnuson supercharger, and then sold this one on eBay. So what's very exciting about that, this blower literally looks like it has 0 miles on it. I'm not even sure if this thing ran with this blower on it. I'm gonna show you the insides of the blower right now. You can see just how immaculate this thing is. So I would say that I absolutely scored with this buy, especially for the price I got it for. So couldn't be happier about that. And I think it's gonna really suit this build and just take it over the top to the next level. Now, right about now, I'm sure there's a lot of you saying, why are you putting this giant Hemi V8 with a blower on it into that ridiculous little Neon that'll never work? Well, if you want to see my full reasoning for that, go ahead and watch the first video in this project right here, or I'll link it in the description down below. You'll kind of get the idea behind the whole genesis of this project and why I'm doing what I'm doing. The short answer is, I had a Neon when I was younger. I learned a lot about working on cars with that car, so I'm very nostalgic towards Neons. And I had an idea that, what if I had the skills I had now back then, what could I have done? So that's what we're doing. So what we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be tearing down our donor engine. Now again, this is a 6.4 liter SRT Hemi engine, and we need to tear it down for a few different reasons. For one, it's absolutely filthy. This thing is disgusting, old used engine. And for two, this engine is actually broken. So we're going to do a bit of automotive archaeology here, figure out exactly what's wrong with this thing, but we also need to prep it for the boost, so there's going to be some upgrades that go into this thing as well. Let's get into it. Hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to let you know that Reignited is having a sale on our website, 25% off through the end of the year. Now, as you guys know, this merch sale stuff, the only reason I even have this is to put this money straight back into the channel, straight back into the builds and doing more videos for you guys. So if you appreciate what I'm trying to do, or if you feel like I've maybe helped you in the past with one of my videos, do me a favor, check out the website and see what we have available. Now, obviously we have these black hoodies with the Reignited logo on the front, something I always enjoy. We also have the same hoodie available in this green color, which is a really nice hoodie. I like this thing a lot. Now, as far as t-shirts go, they're all about the same with the same logo on here, but we have this nice blue color. This is probably my favorite shirt that we have. These shirts are incredibly soft and comfortable. I really enjoy these. Now, of course, it is also available in your more classic black, which is what I wear a lot of times. We have this brown color as well, right here. And if you're ever caught in traffic and need to be seen by absolutely everybody, we have this orange color as well. Really bright orange there. Now, something that's my favorite on the website is probably these flat brim hats right here. I really love the way these are made and the colors are fantastic. So definitely check one of those out. Now, if you're looking to do something a bit more basic, well, we also have sticker packs available on the website as well. Like I said, 25% off absolutely everything on the shop through the end of the year using the promo code that's on the screen now. Do me a favor, check it out, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll get back to the video. So I've already had quite a few people asking me what is going on with this neon project. We haven't seen anything about it since you posted that last video. And the truth is I'm actually driving this thing during the week to get to work and back. I have about a half an hour commute into work every day. So my truck was kind of killing me driving it. So I figured I'd drive this thing. Now this came with its own set of issues because I never intended to actually drive this car. It was always meant to be a project. And I actually bought it with a blown up transmission. Didn't care because I was never going to drive it. But then I decided, well, I could kind of use it to help save some money on gas. And that kind of snowballed from there. So I ended up finding a used transmission for super cheap, slapped that in there. First time I drove it, man, this thing's overheating. Oh, the fans aren't turning on at all. So I had to put a set of fans in there. And then when I drove it, more classic neon things, the head gasket was in fact blown on this thing. One of the major reasons why it was overheating. Obviously the fans probably had something to do with that as well, but the head gasket was blown. So I was just thrashing, trying to get that done. And I posted about this on Instagram, but I was pushing so hard just to jam that job out as fast as I possibly could that I put the head gasket on 180 degrees out. Now you might ask, how did you even do that? I don't even know. I have no idea how I did that, but that's exactly what I did. I drove the thing for about a half a block, completely milkshaked the engine. You can see in this picture right here, coolant and oil mixing together all over the place. It was awesome. I got to do the job all over again because I was rushing to get it done and wasn't taking my time to verify that I was doing it correctly. So just so you guys know, these things happen even to professionals. We get into a bad situation like that and we just make a mistake. So that's your reminder. Take your time, make sure you do it right. So I have a pretty good idea going into this of what I'm going to find. Now this engine was another victim of the cam and lifter failure. However, this one was really bad because they let the problem get so bad that it was eventually only running on 7 cylinders. I expect to find a cam lobe completely destroyed in this thing. And what that means is that quite a lot of metal has probably gone through this engine. That's why this engine, that's why I have it. It's because the customer ended up getting a brand new one. Now for me, I'm comfortable with taking this thing completely apart. We're actually gonna take the block and have it flushed in the machine shop, get all of that stuff out of there, and we're gonna clean absolutely everything to get that old metal out. I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's a risk I'm willing to take. So that's why we're starting with this engine. And again, this thing is just filthy. We gotta get this thing cleaned up. So our first order of business is to get these heads off, and then we can get the lifters out, pull that cam out and take a look at it. Now we begin our treasure hunt to try to figure out exactly which cylinder it is that failed, because I have no idea. I wasn't the one who was working on this particular vehicle. Oh, found it. Here we go. Cylinder 7. And that one is quite bad. Oh, we got another one. Cylinder 3. And this roller has stopped rolling completely. That one's the one that's real bad. Wow, multiple failures. Another one. What? This is cylinder 4? That's I've never seen 3 failed roller lifters in one vehicle. No wonder this thing ran like absolute garbage. All right, that is absolutely incredible. As I mentioned, I've never actually seen an engine with 3 failed roller lifters on it at once. Obviously, this person just ignored all of the signs and just kept driving the vehicle until it would literally drive no farther. This is a great example of how I say that this is actually a degenerative issue, and it's not one that just all of a sudden happens where it's fine one day and then it's misfiring and completely eaten through a cam lobe the next. That's not how this works. This is degenerative, and if you just keep driving it, it just keeps getting worse, as we saw in this case. Now, whether or not the other 2 roller lifters were helped along by all the metal running through the system could be the case. I don't really know, but all that's going to be changed out anyway. We're getting rid of the MDS system completely. We're going to go with regular lifters in there. We're going to get all new bearings in this thing. I mean, we're really going to freshen this thing up, get some hardened push rods in there. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go with a Hellcat camshaft in here. It's just going to match up really nicely, and we don't need anything crazy because the whole engine combo is crazy already. All right, let's go ahead and get this camshaft out and take a look at these lobes. First winner, that one's eating pretty good. Second winner, same thing. That one's not nearly as bad. This one's definitely pretty bad, but I suspect the cylinder number 7 is going to be the worst one. Oof. Oof. Hey. That's not even a lobe anymore. That's just completely flat right there. That is impressive. So actually it looks like cylinder number 3 is going to be our worst one here. This roller doesn't move at all. It's completely flat on the top. No rolling whatsoever. Cylinder number 4, this lifter is failed, definitely, but not the worst I've ever seen. And cylinder number 7 is pretty bad as well. All right, this next tip you may have seen me give before, but I want to give it to the people who haven't seen it yet. Now, if you're trying to remove your MDS solenoids from the top of your block, they can be very stuck in place. And if you try to use it like a pry bar or anything like that, try to twist and pry these things out, chances are really good that it's actually going to break that MDS solenoid in half. And then for one, you'll have to fish out the broken piece that's still stuck in the block, but for 2, you'll need a new MDS solenoid at that point. Now this tip to get them out is a very simple one, and it's actually endorsed by Chrysler themselves. Take a dead blow mallet, some sort of a plastic mallet, something like this, and give a sharp rap right on the top of the MDS solenoid itself. And what that does is it'll help break that seal, that O-ring there, and allow you to actually pop those things out of there without damaging them. Let's go ahead and get them out. Now, to be clear, you're not going to have 100% success ratio with this, but I have to say, try this first at least before you go prying on these things to try to get them out of here. Now, you might have been able to see there that they actually dropped down just a little bit there. That should have broken that seal. So now we'll want to, as we come up with these, see they can twist freely now. You go ahead and twist, whoops, as you pull up, and look at that, this one popped right out even easier than I expected. Hopefully the other 3 go the same. Wow, these are coming out really easy. Look at that. Oh man, this is one of the best ones that this tip has ever worked on. That was ridiculously simple. You know, it's a truth of the universe that the moment you turn an engine upside down, it's going to pour fluids absolutely everywhere. I don't care if you let this thing drain for 10 years, flip it upside down, all the things you can think of. The moment it goes upside down again, all this fluid magically appears and pours all over the place. As mentioned, we're going to be getting all new piston rings in this thing. I'm going to go ahead and open up those gap a little bit for the boost. Also, we're going to get some new rod bearings, new rod bolts, new main bearings. So let's go ahead and get this bottom end all apart. All right, just taking a look at the condition of the rod bearings itself. They're not that bad, to be honest. A couple of minor marks from some metal going through, but definitely better than I would have expected. So that's a good sign. And the crank journal surface itself looks completely fine as well. Also very good news. Now that's as far as we're gonna go on this particular episode. I'm not gonna take the crank out just yet, but I do need to get everything prepped and ready to go. Now, the good news here is that although this does seem to be due to the sheer negligence of not addressing the issue when it first happened, it seemed like other than that, the vehicle was rather taken care of. This engine, it looks like it's had regular oil changes. It's not completely sludged up, anything of that nature. So that all looks good. The crankshaft journals all look completely fine. The cylinder walls look completely fine. So I have no question that this is going to be a good donor engine for us. Heads look to be in great shape as well. They're just filthy as all get out. So what I need to do right now is I need to start cleaning all of this. I need to order some parts so we can get this engine back together again. The idea here is I want to get this engine complete back to basically a drop-in engine. That way, as I'm mocking things up in this Neon build, I'll be able to just drop the engine in, drop the transmission in, have it all ready to go when the fabrication is done. Just try to get out ahead of it a little bit on this particular build. But for right now, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Reignited.